Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Emily asked me to step in for another LEGO Star Wars review. Today we're going to be looking at Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Vader. This is going to be set 75334. It's going to have 408 pieces. Comes out August 1st for $50, which is a lot a bit high, but we'll get into that. So let's go ahead and check this out. All right, so looking at this set, this is like kind of a funny set. It's a very contentious set right now in the LEGO Star Wars community, and I think it's probably the weakest set of the August 2022 wave. You know, you have other really good sets like the ATTE, the Jedi Starfighter, and some other stuff, but this one is just, it's a little weird. It leaves a lot desired. Primarily, you're going to be looking at like the value of it for $50 for 408 pieces. It's going to be a hard L, in my opinion. I think the only way we would ever purchase this set for that price would be like if there was something like a gift with purchase happening at the LEGO store, kind of similar to getting the Lars family homestead. You know, in that case, we really wanted that homestead, so we had to buy some sets we didn't really care for too much. So this might fit in that category. Otherwise, I would try to see about getting this on sale. I don't think this one's going to sell very well, so there is a good chance you'll probably get it on sale. I would say $40 max is where I would pay for this one. You know, I don't know how much is incorporated with the new like price increases. It's kind of a weird time right now. But let's go ahead and just take a look at the set. So in terms of the set, I was actually a little bit surprised at how much I enjoyed the set. Like, you know, taking away the value of the set, just straight up looking at it, it was actually a fun build. I really like all the gray pieces here. It leaves a lot for anybody who's into doing rock work for mocks and stuff like that. It comes with 4 minifigures. We'll get into that in a little bit. And it comes with a couple of play features. So the main 3 play features that you see is you have this little, I like to call it the little turntables. And that's where, you know, you can spin Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. If you were to actually bring Obi-Wan down, say here, you can actually have them fight with their lightsabers, which is kind of cool. I really like this feature. I wish, though, I think what could have really helped this set a lot is if they had like some sort of Technic rods coming out of both sides, so that way you and like a friend could like maybe spin it and it would cause these to spin. So it just seems a little like silly that I'm going here and I'm just like kind of twisting it. I feel like I'm a DJ at a club, just like, but like a small club. So that's kind of weird. Something else that's kind of funny is the LEGO designers had put like this clear pieces here, and it's supposed to kind of represent Vader force choking Obi-Wan. However, it's just kind of funny because, yet again, Obi-Wan has a high ground. I like to think that that's like a little meme that they made into this. As far as play features go, the main play feature is there's this little ability where if you pulled this side back, this like little lava line kind of shoots up. Now, a lot of this comes from the show, and you know, unfortunately, this scene in the show that the set represents isn't really like well received by fans, myself included. I was like, what is going on in this show? I think story-wise it was okay, but I just like the little details. I'm like, why is Vader just staring at Obi-Wan on fire? Like, what's happening? So I feel like that also might be a big drawback to this set because like it's not from a favorable scene. It's not from their final duel. This is like the duel in the middle of the show, and it was really weak. So that might also be what's hurting this set. But if you remember in that scene, there's like this flame that kind of comes out. Vader throws Obi-Wan around, lights him on fire. It's really weird. And then Tal over here shoots Vader. The stormtroopers are confused. And then we go to the last play feature. So this is going to be the 3rd play feature. And this is my least favorite play feature. Not because it's not fun to do, but the mess that it causes is the worst. So I like to call these little cheese slopes, the transparent ones, the little nacho cheese like factory kind of thing. And so what happens is you can come back here and you can push this button and it unleashes fire at Vader. It's cool until you have to pick it up and, you know, you have to gather these little crates and put the little nacho cheese back into its home. And it's just messy. You're going to lose pieces. So I'm not a big fan of that. I'm never really a big fan of just loose pieces to begin with. So there is that, and it comes on this little cart, so you just load up this cart full of nacho cheese. And that's really it. I mean, those are the 3 play features. 4 if you want to count this thing opening. I don't know if you count it. This thing kind of spins, and it opens, and I wouldn't call that really a play feature. Another weird issue, and this is just like me being a little nitpicky, is because of the rubber band that's holding it together on the back, it causes this gap to form here, and it really bothers me. So like this little gap right here, I have to kind of push on it, and then if I let it go, it'll open, and you'll start to see a little separation there, like an earthquake's coming or something. So that's another kind of disappointing part about this set. but it looks cool. Like the actual action feature is cool, I guess, but it's weird. Then before we get into the minifigures, just wanted to show one more thing. I want to show how it looks on the bottom. So on the bottom here, you can kind of tell, so this little white square, and there's another white square there, those are the little turntables. I do think it would have been really easy for LEGO to like design, again, some sort of Technic gear to go all the way out here so you could spin Obi-Wan. And I'm sure it would have been not too hard to do the same thing for Vader. So that way you could have, you know, some spinning action on it. And then that's how it looks when you put the flame out. See the little flames out? So that's really all it is, and you can just kind of do that with it. And that's kind of how it works. So it's a really weird set, but I enjoy the rock work behind it, and it's something that I'm really into when I make MOCs. That's pretty much the only thing I'm decent at when it comes to MOCs, is making MOCs that almost look exactly like this on the bottom, you know, with the rocks coming and the slopes coming off on the side. However, it's just, I don't know, for 50 bucks, I can't really get past it. But let's go ahead and take a look at the minifigures. Okay, so taking a look at our first figure, we're going to look at Tala Duret. So she's actually an interesting character. She probably ended up being my favorite character in the show. In this particular scene, she's still wearing her Empire gear, but it would have been nice had we got her in her gear in the later episodes. But I guess, you know, canonically it makes sense. It's pretty good printing as far as Imperial officers go. I really like how bold the little black lines are on it. I can't tell if that's a new face or not. I'm not really well versed in the faces as much, and I like the little logo there on the top. Let's see if we get a focus. There we go. So nothing really crazy of note here, just a pretty good Imperial officer figure. Okay, so next is Ned-b, and this is probably the highlight of this set. This figure is really interesting. It's really unique. It comes with this like kind of cool Thor Mjolnir hammer over here on the side, and some really nice leg printing. So what's really interesting about this figure, I thought this was going to be a head, but it turns out it's actually a whole new like piece, kind of like Chewbacca. So this is how the body looks. It's just black and has a blue arm and a yellow arm. So that's pretty cool. But looking at this piece here, it's interesting. So it's all one piece, sans this back part right here. And what's even more interesting is this little yellow piece here. Get some focus on there. That is actually printed onto that slope piece there. So that's kind of nice. So this is how it looks. Pretty cool. I actually really like this. Again, this is pretty much the only draw to this set for me, and even then for $50, it's going to be a pass for the most part. Next is going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I actually really like this figure. I like the printing on the legs there. There's no dual molding or anything, but I don't think it's really needed. We have some nice printing on the hood back there. And I really like his hairpiece. He's the only figure in this set that comes with two faces. And so you have the face there. I guess that's him being angry or force choked. And then we can flip it over the other side, and he's just kind of pondering life over there. Kind of like that face more, really. And he just comes with a standard lightsaber. So again, a really nice figure. Last but not least is Darth Vader. And this figure looks pretty cool in terms of Darth Vader. It's pretty much the same we've been seeing for the last few years. However, this one does come with arm printing. And this is kind of nice because as far as I can remember, the only way to get Darth Vader with arm printing before was in the Bespin Duel set and in the Return of the Jedi set. I can't remember what it was, but the Emperor's Throne Room or something like that. I never got that set. I didn't really care too much for it, so I did get this one. Oop, I just realized my lightsaber hilt is upside down. Hold on, don't spam the comment section just yet. We'll fix that, don't worry. All right, all is right with the world. We got the lightsaber going the right way. My apologies. All right, so moving forward with it, it is nice having this arm printing. I really like it. And then if we see underneath, you see Anakin. He's kind of all pouty, just like you expect him to be. And on the back, he's got all that weird stuff printed on the back from his burns. So again, pretty nice figure. I think the one thing that's a little bit disappointing about this figure is that we were really hoping to see like red in the eyes. And that's because that's something that we've been seeing a lot in the shows recently. However, something else to note is if I pull out this box, you can kind of see in the art that his eyes look red like that. And I would have absolutely loved it. For $50, it might have been more worth it had they actually done the little red eyes. And you can kind of see that over here. They didn't do this in the minifigure descriptions. However, you do see it here in the little animated art. So I don't know what happened there. I did hear that the LEGO designers did try to do that, and they just weren't able to get it without looking too funky. So unfortunately, we're stuck with a monochrome black. Something else that would have been nice too is I would have loved to have that little print in there. See how it looks kind of silver? It could just be a reflection, but it would have been nice had they done that as well. But unfortunately, this is what we're left with. I just want to take one last look at this set and say thank you to LEGO for sending this to us early for review. We really appreciate it. I think for $50, it's going to be a pretty tough one to justify. You get some decent figures, and the playability of it is kind of fun, even though it still feels like I'm on a turntable. It's just not there for me. I think, when you look at the value of the ATTE for $140 or even the Jedi Starfighter for $30, that's a pretty good value, I think, for what you're getting. But just for $50, I still have a really hard time with this, because at the end of the day, you're paying $50 for a big rock, some spinning things, and a lot of cheese slopes, plus some decent minifigures. So that's going to be what I have to say about it. Again, I would really like to thank LEGO for sending this to us early for review. We really appreciate it. Let us know what you think about this set down below, and may the Force be with you.